Jack, we're here for another Mayor's Hour. Welcome, everybody. We're at one of the crown jewels of the Tampa Bay area, Jack, Tampa International Airport. This is one of the places that when people think about Tampa, they think about this airport.
This airport is amazing because depending on what survey you look at, they're either second or third in the nation. And first or second is Indianapolis or Portland has gotten into the mix lately. Those are new airports. This place opened, and I was here when it opened in 1971.
Oh, yeah.
And yet it's still
timeless.
The best.
Yeah.
As one of their guys was saying, it just gets better with age.
Yeah, it does.
But I mean, this is not taking into account all the expansion that's about to take place. We might take that #1 spot yet, but it's amazing. Basically a facility that opened in 1971.
Well, we're going to take you on a tour of what is happening here at TIA. As many of you know, we're in the midst of a $1 billion expansion in phase 1. There's probably another $1 billion coming in phase 2. Brand new retail. I don't want to spoil it all because Joe Lopano, the CEO of the airport, will be with us in a second. But this is going to be an inside look at what's going on out here. And more importantly, we're going to tell you exactly what the future looks like. Jack, this design of this airport has been copied all over the world.
Oh, it has. And the fact that, I mean, anybody that's gone through Atlanta and Detroit and all of these other airports, it's just exasperating after you're used to going through TIA. Of course, we don't have all of the plane changing. I mean, we're not a hub or anything like that. But it's still incredible the way it's built and how it facilitates movement. And it's just great. And then you've got light rail. There was first light rail in the Bay Area.
First monorail.
And unfortunately, we haven't picked up on that yet around the rest of the Bay
It's still the only light
Area.
rail in the Bay Area.
Yes.
All right, stay with us. Inside look at Tampa International Airport. It's going to be a great show. We'll be right back.
Want to keep this?
I'd love to keep that. Can I hang that in my office? You know what that looks like? It looks like a tie. The Mayor's Hour.
Yeah.
All right, Brian.
All right, here we go. Here we go. This is the one-time winner. Nice.
And he got it again.
That's
he
it.
lifted it. There you go. Hey. All right.
And I got my fate back.
All right, we are back with another segment at our favorite airport. I think by all measures, one of the favorite airports for most people in this country.
Yep, it certainly is. #2 or 3 in the country in all those surveys.
Yep, and joining us is the guy that makes all of this magic happen. This is Joe Lopano, who is the CEO and president of Tampa International Airport. I'm lucky enough to sit on the board, and this is the guy that really has transformed this airport, but the best part is there's a lot more coming, Joe.
Yeah, that's true,
So
Mayor.
tell us, first of all, you've been here how long?
I'm in my 7th year.
Yeah, you and I got here about the same time.
Exactly,
So,
yep.
Tell us what's going on at the airport. We've all been reading about the $1 billion expansion.
Right.
We've started reading about phase 2, which is coming.
Yep.
But talk to us about phase 1. What is happening to our favorite airport?
Yeah, so phase 1, we're standing in this area here, which is part of a 50,000 square foot expansion of this main terminal. This is 25,000 here. We have 25,000 on the other side. We also have a 1.4 mile people mover system going down to a more than 2 million square foot rental car center.
So we're moving the rental cars out of the main facility.
That's correct. The reason for that is that we've had so much growth that the rental cars were unable to expand in their current footprint. So they asked us to build them the rental car center, which we did. Now they can turn cars around in 15 minutes, a much more efficient operation. Passengers can be down at the rental car center in 4 minutes, walk into the lobby and pick up their car, and they don't have to be on our roadways. They can go right on the highway. So we're almost done with that. That building will be occupied, or can be occupied in October, but we'll open it in February, which is 4 months behind the schedule. We'll test our people mover cars for 6 months. We're currently projecting to be under budget. As you know, at every board meeting we show you the numbers. So we're pretty happy with where we've gotten so far. We've opened up 28 new restaurants here in these terminals. The passengers are loving it.
Oh,
Some of these concepts are being so widely accepted. You're going to go out later to see some. They're always packed in the afternoons, and it's just great.
You know, the amazing thing, and one of the great things you've done is when you came in here and said, why do we have all of these chain restaurants? Why don't we have showcase Tampa's best restaurants, and that's what you've done is bring them in here.
Yeah.
And that's made a huge difference. I mean, I love flying on Delta because I'm right down there to Greenfields.
Yeah, Full Greenfields. We're going to spend a little time there, Jeff.
Well, good. Maybe
Well,
I'll grab a beer.
It's funny because people are actually making airline choices now based on the terminal. So they'll,
Are they really?
Yes, they are. I've heard this in some of the speeches I've been giving. But really, the thing is, 5 years ago, we introduced our first local brands here. And Richard Gonsmart told me that he's been trying to get in this airport for 20 years and was never allowed. And he's one of the first ones we brought out. We brought out Columbia, we brought out Mise en Place, we brought out Shula's, we brought out the Green Iguana, if you remember.
Yeah.
That was, you remember approving all that stuff.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was 5 years ago. Now, we're going even further than that. It's like local concepts on steroids. We got Ulele, we got Goody Goody, we got Dan Bavaro. Good story about him. He packed his whole family in a car, drove down here in the middle of the worst recession.
Yeah.
Started here and started a pizza shop. Now he's out at the airport. It's the best pizza at any airport in the country. And that's a
from a
beautiful
guy
thing.
from Jersey who's Italian saying that.
From New York, Mayor.
Whatever. That's
Well,
all the
there
same
I'll say
thing.
New Jersey, New York, one of those new states.
That's right. But it's a great thing because the money that gets made by Dan Bavaro or Goody Goody or Mise en Place is going to stay in Tampa. It's going to go in a bank in Tampa and it's going to stay here. It's not going to go to some big corporate headquarters somewhere.
Yeah, that blew my mind when you did that, and I thought, why hadn't that been done before? Come to think of it, I mean, we go to all these restaurants locally, and now all of a sudden they're here, and it just showcases them for all the tourists coming in too. I mean, it goes both ways. You've got better food, and they get better food.
It's a win-win.
And at the same time, they learn about these places, and ultimately may help them expand to other places.
Yep.
Joe, I just came from an announcement of the Gold Cup games being played here in Tampa.
Cap, right.
Yep, and one of the teams that's playing is from Panama. Now, you've made it a priority that we broaden our presence on the international stage by attracting a lot of international flights. Copa Airlines was one of the early and best success stories. Tell us about that effort. Tell us the number of flights we've attracted, where we're going now, and why is that important?
A very, very good question, Mayor. And you know, you've been here the whole time, basically. I was here for 2 months, and then you got elected as mayor.
You almost moved, you almost left.
No, actually, I started to take you with me on trips. So you went to Panama.
Yeah, we did, multiple times.
On
Yeah,
our first trip, Copa. And they basically told us,
to go take a hike.
take a hike in Spanish, exactly. They told us to take a hike. And it took us a couple, 3 years to really convince them that this was the right place for them. And now
the
they're,
CEO of Copa called him a stalker.
A stalker.
Because
well, I'm persistent.
we dogged this guy, not him, dogged the CEO of Copa Airlines for 3 years, literally. Wherever he would go,
Yeah.
Joe Lopano would show up. in the room.
He'd be giving a speech in New York, and I'd be like, I want to have a cup of coffee with you, Pedro. And he's like, okay.
The stalkers.
Yeah, so I fly up and have a
The
cup of coffee with
stalker.
him. But at the end of the day, we were successful. And the truth is, our international passengers since I got here are more than doubled. And this was a priority from the board. I mean, the board laid it out that you need to be aggressive in marketing. We established an incentive plan, which has actually worked. And we're now at more than double. But domestically also, we've added Seattle, San Francisco, Salt Lake City has been announced. And we're also seeing a tremendous growth of our low-cost carriers, like Southwest, Spirit, Frontier. They're all adding capacity and they're growing, and they're giving us good price competition for the other guys and service competition. So we're really happy. In fact, we had a record-breaking month in March, and we had a record-breaking month in April. I just got the numbers
April,
in.
I just saw the numbers on that the other day, and it was biggest ever.
Yeah, and so, you know, we are very fortunate to be where we are in this program because we continue to grow. I mean, Tampa's growing, right? It's one of the biggest growing regions in the country. How could the airport not be growing? That would be irresponsible of us to not grow with this community or help the community to grow.
So what are some of the next potential targets or expansions?
Well, Mayor, we, believe it or not, we think Ireland's market that we can...
Now we're talking.
Whoa.
Now we're talking.
I'm going there. Well, this will be
The head
when it actually
leprechaun
runs.
is going to be on that trip.
Well, on my first trip to Aer Lingus, you're coming because you're my good luck charm. It worked with Panama, so it's going to work with Aer Lingus. So we have Dublin, we have Manchester, England, we have Amsterdam as our targets. We have more domestic markets also, like San Diego and Portland. And we also continue to look at Colombia as a market for us and Brazil. So we still have a lot of work to do, and that's why we're going to phase 2.
I love the non-stops to the West Coast now. I mean, that's fantastic because it was awful to have to go to either Atlanta or Salt Lake City or something like that to get out there.
Oh,
And
no,
now you
it's-
just pop on and you're
For
over
our
there.
technology sector, having access to those venture capitalists and those technology companies is a big deal. A big deal.
This will have, when this is running, I'll already have gone there, but just happens that next weekend, we're heading out to Ireland,
Yeah.
and we've got to go to Atlanta to get to Ireland.
Yeah.
So it'll be great when you have it right here. And my son's coming from D.C. to meet us over there, and he's going to be on Aer Lingus.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
He'll be doing surveillance in a pub.
yes, I will. I'll be checking those
Well,
out.
we got a pretty good pub right here.
We do.
Oh yes.
So
Believe me.
what does phase 2 look like?
Yeah, phase 2 is it's a really awesome project. What we're seeing is a lot more drop-off curbside business, whether that be because of Uber, Lyft, and others. So we're gonna double the size of our curbsides here at the terminal, and we're gonna create what we call the express curbs. So imagine if you already have your boarding pass and you have a carry-on bag. You don't have to go to the ticketing counters, don't have to check the bag. Have your party drop you off. You go right up an escalator to this level and go straight out to your airplane. Never have to interact with the ticket counters and the inside of the building. Same thing on arrival. If you have a checked bag, don't have to go to the baggage claim. Your party can pick you up at the express lanes, hop right in the car and go. So that's one part of it. The other is a 17-acre real estate development project. We call it the Gateway Development Area. And we envision an office building, a hotel, and then some retail, gas station, convenience store, and so on down there. And what we've done is we've activated that real estate by virtue of the fact that we have the Sky Connect People Mover. It's almost like a transit project, right? You got, now that you have all these people on the train, they need gas stations, they need convenience stores, the office workers can now get on the train and go directly to the airport, never have to move their car. Imagine renting an office in that building, it'd be awesome.
And I am so glad you're getting a gas station. We talked about that
Yep.
on the air one time on the radio. But people on the beaches or in St. Pete or something, they come over and they think, well, I'll stop and get gas when I get near the airport in a rental car. All of a sudden they're here. Where was the gas station? They couldn't find it.
There really aren't very many gas stations around the airport. So this one is going to be right on Boy Scout.
Yeah.
And it's going to be right
That'll
by
be
O'Brien.
terrific.
Yeah, and it'll be, so if you're at the cell phone lot and you're waiting for a party, you can go gas up and get a cup of coffee. If you're returning your rental car, you can gas up before
That's
you
the
return.
great thing. You can gas up and the rental car agency's right there and turn your car in.
Turn your
and
car
boom.
in and you're done.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like a little airport city down there, and it's going to be exciting. It really is.
Now, are you guys doing a lot of cargo business? I know with Amazon now located in Ruskin, there's a lot of need for additional cargo capacity.
Yeah, that's good, Mayor. We've been, you know, it's funny when you see these developments and these big box developments, the Amazon, people say, well, I wonder what kind of jobs, are they good paying jobs, what's happening? What's happening is there's a lot more activity coming into Tampa, and it led to an actual freighter operation, which we did not expect. Amazon changed their business model to go into the 767 freighter business. They're actually creating a fleet of their own planes because they
didn't know
didn't
that.
feel like they could rely on UPS, FedEx, and so on. So they wanted to control distribution, and Amazon is pretty good at that. So when you're getting an Amazon Direct on your front porch, it probably came through Tampa Airport. Some of the just-in-time things that they don't want to keep in inventory, they bring in on a plane, bring it to Ruskin, and it's in your house the next day.
Wow, that is incredible.
It's
That's
unbelievable.
part of the business. That's something
Oh, yeah.
nobody ever envisioned here years and years ago.
Well, they gave me an example. It's like you would never stock a size 13 orange Nike sneaker. You wouldn't have that in all your warehouses.
Yeah.
But someone ordered it, right? Put it on a plane, get it here, I'm going to get it to their house tomorrow. It's that kind of thing.
All right, Joe Lopano, the guy that makes things happen here, stay with us. We're going to see a lot more of this airport. May have to tip a wee pint at Fort Greene Fields
I
before
think
the
a
end of this
pint
day.
is necessary.
And we want you to see the magic that's happening here. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Tampa International Airport CEO Joe Lopano. We just completed the second year of construction on our historic expansion that'll benefit travelers for decades to come. Join us as we take a look at our progress. Hey, so we're here in the new Consolidated Rental Car Center. This is the Customer Service Center. Passengers will be able to take the Sky Connect train, get off right here at station number 3, and inside this lobby they'll have a choice of 16 different rental car brands. All this is in air conditioning, they never have to walk outside, and they don't have to walk far. it'll be the best level of customer service in the country. So I'm here with our awesome project manager, Dan Seeley. Dan, tell us what's going on.
Hey Joe, well, Austin Commercial spent the last year pouring concrete on the Conrack facility. They've poured over 110,000 cubic yards, which is approximately enough to stretch from here to Charlotte, North Carolina on the sidewalk.
Wow. Well, this project has to be creating a lot of jobs. How many folks are out here working on this project?
Absolutely, we have in between 1,300 and 1,500 workers a day. Total, we have around 2,000 on the master plan project.
Doing a great job, Dan. Thank you
sir.
very much. So I'm standing in front of the elevated guideway portion of the 1.4-mile Sky Connect People Mover train. This elevated guideway is the most complicated part of this job, lifting these big steel beams that the train will travel on. And I'm here with Project Director Brian Rumble. Hey Brian,
Joe,
how
good
are
to
you?
see you.
Good to see you too. Tell us a little bit about the project.
This is a spot right here where all of the traffic from both our blue side, the traffic uses the parkway around to the red side, all has to pass through this one point. And of course, this is the area that we saved the best for last, if you will, lifting the largest beams above not only the roadway, but also above our Airside A shuttle cars. So it's quite a challenge.
And how many cranes does it take to lift up something that heavy?
Some of the larger, more complicated lifts, they actually use two cranes, so they're tied together in tandem, working with each other to lift these large beams up into the air.
You're doing a great job. Thank you, Brian.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm standing here on the west side expansion area. We've added 55,000 square feet to the east and west side of our terminal building. This is the west side food court, and we've added 3 great new restaurants, Wendy's, Qdoba, and Chick-fil-A. This is all part of our effort to increase revenues and improve our customer service and give our customers what they want, the kind of food that they want. So I'm here with our great director of concessions, Lori Noyes. Lori, tell us where we stand on the project. How far are we into this project right now?
We're about a third of the way through the project, with 22 of the 65 locations open today.
I know we've had a lot of local concepts come out. What was the reasoning behind that?
We want our airport to reflect our local community and mirror back what it is that you experience in Tampa and give them the greatest of all that we have to offer. And so incorporating local vendors both on the storefront and within the store is very important to us.
It's about customer service. We really believe in customer service, but it's also about driving revenue up, right? Because we've got to make sure we're strong financially. Tell us how much more revenue we'll get with this new program.
We're looking to grow our revenue by about 38% from the fiscal year prior to the full open of the program.
Okay, well great. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you,
Excellent
Mr.
job. We're here at Airside E, where we're making some tremendous customer service improvements. We're adding new seating areas, we're adding green zones, we're adding children's play areas, and we're also adding almost 10,000 charging ports for your electronic devices. This has been a great advancement for our airport, and in today's world with people using their electronics all the time, it's a huge improvement. And now I'm with the guy who's responsible for tracking customer satisfaction, Kenneth Strickland.
Thanks, Joe. Really excited about these new power stations. One of the things that we track in our survey data is the ability of people to charge their devices before getting onto a plane, which all of our industry data tells us is incredibly important, not to mention our own data. With so many of the changes in the master plan are sort of developed around our passengers' needs 5 or 10 years out, this really meets an immediate need and something that our passengers have noticed and are really happy about.
Awesome. Great job, Kenneth.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for watching this video. We truly have seen some amazing changes in this past year, and I'm honored to share them with you and the millions of passengers that visit Tampa International every year. We're scheduled for completion soon, so stay tuned.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I bought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
It's not always easy being a dad.
Do you have panda asthma too? Does that run in the family? This is the home of the most priceless kung fu artifacts.
But when you make an effort,
Dad, we're not supposed to touch anything. Oh, sorry. Go long, son.
it's always worth it.
Whoa, master!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
I am gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
All right, Jack, we're back for another segment. We just had Chief Executive Officer Joe Lopano, the big boss.
Oh yeah, the head man.
But now we're going to meet with one of the integral parts of this, particularly as it relates to how did we arrive at this point where there were so many local concessionaires here providing great Tampa products. Lori Noyes, thanks for joining us on the Mayor's Hour.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me about the process. What was the thought process going into this, and then how did we get this? This is amazing.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So it's a long process. We started back several years ago, but one of the key commitments and objectives of the program was to reflect our local community and give a sense of place, that everyone arrives here and everyone that leaves here has a piece of the Tampa community. And so we feel really proud about the way that we've been able to go about implementing that and getting all of the local community involved in the process and here reflected in our airport.
We talked with Joe Lopano about this because it was a brilliant idea of his to say, forget about the chains. That's not doing us any good, not doing our economy any good, and decided to go with local. And we've got so many great restaurants locally.
Breweries.
Yeah, great breweries and everything, and you brought them out here. I mean, like Buddy Brew Coffee, that is great stuff. And Yogurtology, I go there. Bella's, I go there an awful lot. And it's two things. First of all, exposing people to our great restaurants. And then secondly, there's a good chance that these are going to expand elsewhere in the country as a result of people coming here and saying, wow, that's great coffee, or that's great pasta, or whatever the case may be.
Absolutely.
Well, walk us through the process. How many new restaurants? How many more to come?
69 concessions locations in total, food and beverage,
69
retail.
concessions, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And we're 28 in. So we have 28 open. We're almost halfway through and gearing up to complete early next year.
And there was, and I know because I was involved in it, the process by which they were picked. I mean, teams were put together, they competed. You had to go through the screening process and look at all the financials for all of these groups. How many different packages were there, and how did you break them out? And most importantly, you guys really have focused on providing women, small business, and minority-owned companies with opportunities to be here. That, when you hear the numbers, Jack, in terms of how much minority participation we've had, it will astound you. More than any public project I've ever been involved in. So tell us about how we did that.
So we did some really grassroots efforts early on. We went out and talked to all of the local chambers and local economic development communities. We had public meetings and just really solicited feedback from our community and those that wanted to be part of the airport and be partners, because like you say, it's not just about being here, but it's how they get their name out across the country. And it's also a great opportunity for when people land here to go find the street side location. And so, we started with 3 ACDB partners in our existing program when we kicked it off.
What does ACDB stand for?
Airport Concessions Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. So our minority partners, great, thank you for that. And we grew that to 15 partners, which is almost unheard of in the industry and how we've been able to capture that. We had 12 different packages hit the street, and so everybody got a piece of different parts of the airport. So you may have a location out here on Airside F, and then in that same package a location on Airside A and Airside C. And so we tried to balance that business perspective.
And another thing you've done is retail, and I'm not familiar at all with retail. I knew about the restaurants coming in, but I learned in getting ready for the show that you're doing retail too, local retail. Tell us about that.
It is. It's an opportunity for specialty retail that we haven't had here before. In fact, Toomey Swarovski that we opened just a few months back just won Airport Council International's Best New Retail Concept for the year, and we're very proud of that. And it's also about the vendors. So when you bring local concepts and they use local vendors, prosperity grows in your community. And so even within the specialty retail concepts in our news convenience programs, they brought in local vendors to provide their grab-and-go food. So someone like Ulele Bakery or La Segunda now provide food.
Oh,
We just filmed a show at La Segunda last month.
Oh, that was incredible.
I can smell that Cuban bread already. I still smell like the Cuban
I'm
bread.
still eating that Cuban bread with cheese on it.
Oh, it's delicious. And we're so lucky to have them as part of the program, even without a name on the storefront. We've got it's just exponential in what it does for our community.
So what's next? How many stores do we have yet to open?
We have 41 stores yet to open, and that includes retail, food, and spa locations. So for the first time, we're introducing spa services.
And what are some of the stores that the visitors and travelers haven't seen yet?
Clearwater-based Spanx is coming up shortly,
sure.
so we're really excited to have them as part of it.
Yeah, he wears Spanx.
Find them on your site, see. In a couple months, and we've got other locations like PGA and Runway. We'll have the Shops at Bayshore, which is almost a department store style location on our main terminal, which will feature a lot of local vendors as well as national vendors and give people a chance, all our meeters and greeters who are so fond of the airport, something to do while they're waiting.
It's almost like a mall.
Yeah.
You have like a mall there.
Are you finding people, obviously you got to get through security, but people coming to the airport just to eat?
That is one of our goals, is creating a destination on the main terminal. You know, nowhere else are you going to be able to sit at a restaurant and watch airplanes outside. And we feel really good about having that.
Well, more importantly, nowhere else can you hear his voice and my voice on the
This is
on the
true.
train.
on the train going over.
Absolutely.
I'm not the one with the West Virginia accent. That would be
That's
my
me.
partner in
Jack.
crime here.
Howdy. I didn't get to say howdy. I know about a destination for eating, dining. And we used to come to the Carrabba's here because my son loved the airport and crazy about the airport. But also, you could just sit outside and watch the people, the travelers, great people watching.
it is great
and
people
now
watching.
we go to P.F. Chang's or the Hard Rock there when we come out here and eat at one of those two places about once every couple of weeks.
And we're very excited to get those patios open later this year. We'll be able
that'll
to
be
sit
awesome.
outside, watch planes, watch the new APM when it's up and running, and have different experience that you can have anywhere else around town.
Yeah, for the people that are waiting, that are in the terminal waiting, or for people to come back and everything, they can go out there on that and watch the planes, especially if they got kids or something like that. That's going to be a real entertainment feature for them.
Cheap date?
Huh?
It's a cheap date.
Oh, it is. I hadn't
entertainment.
thought of it that way. Take my wife, where are we going? We're going to go to the patio at the airport.
No, probably not.
That doesn't work.
Joy requires a little more maintenance
Or
than
for
that.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, Mother's Day. Yeah. So phase 2, what's your role?
Phase 2 will be involved in after the concessions get up and running. We're really going to be working on the commercial curb, so we have a role in ground transportation too in our world, and that's how we'll play a role.
Yeah, with the new phase over here, because you're talking about restaurants and office buildings and things like that over there too, right? And not to mention the retail.
So they'll be in the commercial real estate development. There's a team that will be focused on that, and really excited to be part of that team.
Yeah, and that can be a destination. I mean, people can come there to restaurants or stores or whatever might be there.
Absolutely.
And obviously, there's plenty of parking.
That's right.
You don't run into that problem there. And this place is going to turn into a competitor for International Plaza, I think, in the not too distant future.
We surely hope so.
Is there anything like this? Any other airports that have this much? I mean, we're going to be a first.
There are airports are looking at their programs now to grow and expand. A lot of airports are focused on local, but I think creating that destination in the main terminal pre-security is going to be something very unique to our airport because of our community, and that they love coming out to the airport to meet their passengers here, and that's pretty uncommon in the airport industry.
So what's your background?
So I ran shopping centers for 15 years. I ran shopping centers in our community all over town.
Really? Which ones?
I worked for Westfield.
Okay.
So I worked at Brandon Citrus Park, helped out at Countryside down in Sarasota, ran those redevelopments, did a little Miami.
So that's perfect experience coming in and opening a mall here, or turning the airport into a mall. Maybe they're going to have to turn West Shore or Westfield or whatever it is into an airport.
Into an airport, yeah. I like that idea.
And so how long you've been with the, 2 years, 3 years?
I've been here for 5 years.
5 years.
I
Wow.
actually left a career with Westfield after 15 years to come here for this program because it was so exciting and I wanted to be part of it. And so I joined the team early on as a manager, and through the process that we've been through, I've been able to grow into my role, and I really feel very fortunate for that and all that we've done.
Well, we're excited to have you. The team that Joe has built is really top-notch. We're going to meet some of the others. This is obviously one of the most visual parts of it that the public get involved in, but the construction side of things, I mean, this is a massive project. It's the biggest project the airport's ever embarked on since it was built.
Oh, big time, yeah.
And with phase 2 coming, soon, that you're going to be busy for a while.
We're going to be very busy.
Yeah, and I hate to keep saying it again and again, but you take an airport that goes back to 1971 when it opened, and it has been considered up until now either the second or third best airport in America. And when you add all of this, I mean, the survey hadn't included all of this, and I think we're going to be bumped up to number 1. I really do, ultimately, when you finish everything.
You know what's really neat about this is the architect that designed this airport, his sons are now working on this phase.
Really?
Yeah. Carlos Alfonso and Albert Alfonso, it was their dad that designed this airport.
Yeah. What a brilliant guy he must have been.
Yeah.
And they actually designed this space.
Yeah.
So it's really
so
exciting.
from generation to generation, keeping that Tampa presence here and what's unique about this, and then taking it to the next level.
That just boggles my mind, though, to look around here and think, well, I go to there, and I go to there, and I go to there. Square One and Buddy Brew. Love that stuff.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back. I'm going to show you some more cool stuff. Lori Noyes, thank you. Keep up the good work. Keep bringing those Tampa brands here to the airports. We'll be right back.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills, the smarts. Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the Creative Galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside the box.
Go be amazing!
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle. Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
All right, Jack, this is the best part of the show.
This is the best part of the show.
This airport's nice and all that stuff, but now we're talking about serious economic development going on right here.
Yes, indeed.
Beer time on the Mayor's Hour, something new and different. We're here at 4 Green Fields at the airport, which is in the Delta section, right next to boarding gate number 62. We're here with my buddy and the proprietor and the pub owner of the famous 4 Green Fields on Platt Street, Colin Breen. Little known fact that when I was out of office plotting my comeback, 4 Green Fields was my city hall in exile.
Oh, City Hall in exile.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
That might
Just like
be
the Irish are plotting to overthrow the Brits, I was plotting to make my comeback.
That sounds almost like it might be a good name for a pub.
It could be. So, Colin, what do we got here?
Looks like a little sample of the 4 Green Fields choices. You can see them on here. We've got an IPA, an ale, a lager, and what we call a cross-check, which was made mainly for our place in the arena.
Huh. So you also have a place in the Amalie Arena as well?
Correct.
So obviously this is a typical Guinness for which you are famous.
I felt that there was no introduction needed on this
Absolutely,
one. Absolutely.
yeah.
That's the real thing.
That is a 4-course meal right there. And so you have now gotten into the craft beer business.
Yeah, right now we're having it made under contract for us. We're in the process with our property in Ireland for putting in a brewery and distillery there, and then we'll be exporting it once that's ready and brought over here.
He had a great line. You know, I'm a Bud Light drinker usually, and this place is into it with the Guinness and everything, and he just told me a joke about, well, you tell it, you do it better. It's funny.
Well, essentially, it's a Bud guy, a Miller guy, and a Guinness guy walk into a bar. Bud guy orders a Bud, Miller guy orders a Miller, and the Guinness guy orders a water. He said, if they're not drinking, neither am I.
So much for our Budweiser sponsorship of the Mayor's Hour. Now, Colin, Fort Greene Fields has been an institution in Tampa for how many years now? How long ago?
We're in our 25th year downtown.
25th year.
Boy, it doesn't seem like that long.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah, we eat at the one down on Platt Street a lot, and then we fly Delta a lot, so I always get in here for a beer before we go. Unfortunately, Bud Light. Next time, especially next weekend when we're going to Ireland, I think I'll definitely come in here and have a Guinness.
It was quite beneficial for us to be in this Terminal 1. Delta does go to Ireland, but also because of the business travelers, we found that we're getting a lot of repeat business here, which you normally wouldn't get in a transient situation such as an airport.
Yeah.
And I guess it's the weekly business travel to Atlanta.
To
so
Atlanta, yeah.
You're seeing a lot of the same thing you would see in a street side pub with regular customers.
And the good thing is, though, visitors coming here, tourists who are coming here and will see this, who are not familiar with it at all, and give it a try and say, wow, this is incredible. You know, you might be expanding your business all over the country pretty soon.
It's a great billboard, isn't it?
It is. It's fantastic. And it's so different. I mean, it's unique because of the thatched roof and everything like you have downtown.
Right.
And this makes a big impression on anybody traveling in this particular part of the Delta airside, which it's always packed because that's Atlanta right there. And I mean, word's going to spread about this place.
Yeah, it's worked out pretty well for us with this, and got to give credit. Delaware North runs the operation out here. They've done a heck of a job with the staffing. And, and it's one of the things you can't teach is people to be nice and pleasant and that sort of. And they've got a good crew here. So it's as long as all that keeps going, it's like a long-term success.
Well, you are known as a connoisseur of Guinness, which is a very unique specialty in terms of how to pour it and
it's a sick talent.
Nitrogen content and all those things. How is it that you became such a perfectionist? Because there is a difference between your Guinness and the Guinness anywhere else you drink.
Yeah, don't get me going. It's most beer you hook it up and you pour it, and there you go. Guinness takes, as you said, a certain mix of the gas. It has to be a certain temperature. Glasses have to be cleaned a certain way. You've got to go through a lot of it because it's not pasteurized. So as soon as you tap it, it starts going bad. And we get it. It's probably 2.5 months at least old by the time we get it.
By the time it's shipped from Guinness,
when it gets from Dublin and actually to the pub with all the various stops along the way. So you've got to get through that. So it's fortunate that we sell quite a bit of it.
Yeah, aren't you one of the largest Guinness sellers in the state of Florida?
Certainly Florida, and probably beyond that. They don't like to share too much of that information.
Is that a Bud Light?
No,
you pathetic, sorry excuse for an Irishman.
Be a Bud Light. Let me see.
This show's almost over.
Will you go sit over there, please?
It is a Bud Light. There's no taste after drinking that.
There's a sandwich in every pint here, Jack.
Now, one of the things people don't realize about Colin is that he owns a castle in Ireland, a real, honest-to-goodness castle. How in the heck did you get in the castle business?
Well, as we were interviewing for general managers a couple of years ago, one of the questions was, what do you know about Kennedy, the name of the castle? And the guy we ended up hiring actually told us that the rumor was that I had a few too many pints of Guinness one night and decided to buy it as I was driving by. And the business plan wasn't much more in detail than that, but that wasn't quite it. When the economy took a hit over there, like it did everywhere, a bank took it back, and we worked with them for about 6 years.
Oh, I remember when you started.
It's quite a property.
I went home to my wife and I said, Colin wants us to invest in a castle. And she said, what?
I'm sure you're going to miss you, Bob.
Yeah, exactly.
Castle in Ireland.
She said, Does Colin have an extra room at his house? But it's a real. Tell the history of.
It's old. The main building is from 1209. There was a monastery there before that, which is why the ghost that wanders through the hallways is a monk.
There you go. You could haunted.
There was actually a TV show last weekend. Some people from New York came over and did something. Can't wait to see what that looks like. The interesting part to me, one of them, that at one point it was owned by the O'Carroll family, who, like a lot of people, ended up leaving Ireland and ended up in Maryland, where the one brother, Charles, was one of the original signers of the Declaration of Independence. And doesn't make you much money, but it's a great story.
Yeah, great story. And typical of the Irish is probably half true.
I've never let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Well, he's going to Ireland next week, right?
Yeah, next Friday.
So if you end up with 2 ghosts in your castle, it will be because he spent too much time in the pub.
He could be lost.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go up there and see it. I mean, I'm right after the show, going home and show my wife, look at that.
Yeah.
We've got to go there.
Yeah, you'll get the same luck he did, I think.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's going to go visit. He didn't want to have to invest in it.
Get her down to the Dungeon Bar.
Yep.
It'll be
the Dungeon Bar. I like that
over.
name.
That's right.
That's definitely that's
a great
must.
stop.
A Dungeon Bar.
Yeah. Colin and I traveled to Ireland. When was it? A year and a half ago?
Yeah, the sister city.
Yeah, we set up a sister city with the city of South Dublin, which has turned out to be a great relationship. And they've been over here twice, I think. But Colin sort of organized that trip and took responsibility for that sister city relationship.
We were talking.
It's still going on.
Yeah, we were talking to Joe about at some point, somewhere down the road, we might be able to get Aer Lingus here and direct flights to Dublin, which would be fantastic because so many people here want to go to Dublin.
Yeah, it's
or to Ireland.
From a selfish point of view.
Well, I was going to say that'll make it mighty easy for you when they finally get that. Like next week, as I was saying, my son's taking Aer Lingus over from D.C. and going to meet us over there, but we're going to go here to Atlanta, and guess what we'll be on.
What do you fly out of Atlanta generally, or
I take
Orlando?
Aer Lingus out of Orlando.
You just drive up there?
Yeah.
I got to try this one more time.
Well, how's business been for you here?
Business is good. We get a lot of great reviews. You see pictures sent to us all the time. The airport people here keep getting messages, reviews from people that every one that I've seen has been great. And like you say, as long as the staff keeps doing what they're doing and the food and the drink, it's a great thing for the brand.
Now, do you train them at the pub on Platt Street?
We trained originally at the pub while this was being done, and then we had training out here. And we had the Guinness people out here to go through that and the liquor training. And, it's ongoing, of course, because you do get turnover. And, but again, the Delaware North people that are here are really on top of it.
That's great.
Well,
They do
about
a really good job.
1 week from right now, I'm going to be right here or there or one of these, waiting on a plane.
Not drinking that.
No, I'm going to drink that one. I don't even know whatever that one is.
Whatever that one is.
I like that. Is that the fourth one down here, the Blonde Ale?
That's good.
Not sure which it is. I don't drink that stuff.
That's all he drinks.
He goes for the heavy duty.
Yeah.
What's that one on the end anyway? That looks pretty heavy.
That's got to be the ale.
The Four Green Fields Ale.
Give that a shot. It's the ale.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I need to wash it down.
Yeah. All right. Enough of the beer drinking in the middle of the afternoon.
Are you kidding?
I know. Well, you're off. You've already worked a full day. I still have another dozen meetings or so.
I got a gig tonight, so I'm going to be okay for that.
Anyway, as they say in Ireland, Sláinte. To my friend Colin Breen, congratulations as always. Keep putting us on the map, and hopefully we'll see you here at Four Green Fields, tipping a wee pint. And if I'm in the airport, you're likely to find me here. Come visit and say hello.
Hi.
And we'll be right back to close out this show.
Does that mean anything? Hi.
Hey Gabby, how you doing? How's the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming. We're going biking. Yeah!
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi, babe. How was school today?
Hi, Dad. It was great.
Okay, honey. I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Thank you. got a king?
Go fish. In your face, in your face.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
All right, Jack, we're back. This is not nearly as much fun as drinking beer with Colin Breen at Fort Greene Fields, but this is actually more important. We are here with Al Illustrato, Executive Vice President, Facilities and Administration. Al, you got one big construction project here.
We are excited about it, Mayor, too. Yeah, about a year's worth of construction it took to get this entire structure up, and we just had our topping off ceremony in January. So, real excited.
Now this is going to be the long-term parking here, or economy parking out here, and you'll have shuttles that'll bring people out here and back to the airport and so forth. But when do you expect all of this to be completed?
We expect the rental car center to be open next year in February, just in time for our spring break. As you know, spring break is the busiest time for the airport, and we really want to get it open in time for spring break next year. We just experienced our busiest March and April ever
too,
at the airport, so we're just in time for that next year, all these improvements.
Now, you've been shepherding this project through from the beginning. I mean, you guys brief us every board meeting. There's a lot of moving parts here. This is a massive, massive project.
There sure are. Yeah, we've had, at the peak times, we've had over 2,000 workers a day working on the project, out of some over 400 contractors working on the program, many of them from the local or Florida areas, and so we're delighted about that, and we've gotten great production, as you can see. About a year to go.
In a community that's desperate for a light rail, mass transportation and everything, you guys had the first light rail, obviously, at the original airport back in '71.
Exactly.
What kind of vehicles are we going to see that are going to shuttle people out here? Are they going to be similar to the ones back at the main airport, or what?
Yep, they'll be similar. They're being made in Japan right now, and they should be on the ships leaving Japan shortly and be in the United States, be at the Port of Tampa actually in July. And they'll have these wonderful bird images alongside the cars. So we worked with the Audubon Society of Florida and came up with about 6 different bird images that our guests will see when they visit the area.
Well, I hope they're seabirds.
They are. Some of them are, yes.
Not northern mockingbirds. That's our state bird.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
How expensive is this project?
This project in total is about a $1 billion program between what's going on down here with this rental car center, the people mover, and our main terminal expansion and concessions redevelopment. And you've enjoyed some of that today at Fort Greene Fields.
We did, liquid beverages, liquid lunch.
That's
very nice.
It's only our second mayor's hour we've ever been able to do that.
Yeah, I know, but we're short timers, Jack. We got
exciting stuff.
You did a good thing once before. We visited breweries.
Yeah, that was a good show.
That was a good show.
You had some fun with that.
We had to take a nap afterwards.
Yeah, and I can't remember it. But,
the other exciting thing here, and you can see it behind us, is a canopy going in for a new commercial curb. Because what we want is in the future all the buses of the area to come here. So whether it's bus rapid transit or whatever the different buses from maybe St. Pete or north or east of us to come right to this location, and it'll be very convenient for that bus to come in and out. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I remember when it was originally talked about, and I think it was going to be a transportation hub, and it's set up ultimately, if we ever get light rail, to be accommodating to light rail coming here too. Is that not right?
It's exactly right, Jack. When you look at our station platform up there for Sky Connect, we've left the space just south of it so that another platform could be built, so that a connection over to, say, a West Shore multimodal center could be made on a people mover. with just a seat change over to our train, and then a 4-minute ride up to the terminal. We're very excited about that possibility.
So how have you managed all the moving parts of this? I mean, this really is like a chess game.
It is.
Timing is important, you know.
It is. There's a lot of gears that have to mesh, if you will, but we have a great team of people, and that's what it takes. We have a great team of internal folks, project managers, inspectors, and we have great design builders. And they brought in wonderful teams of constructors and contractors from the local area, and that's what's getting it done, Mayor.
Where is the service station? And I know you're talking about buildings and retail and all that. I'm assuming that'll be out in that area there?
Yes, it will. Just south of the rental car center, and also across from the rental car center is the other real estate opportunities that we'll be pushing into and starting later this year. So with a hotel, an office complex, and then just on Spruce Street south of the rental car center, a gas station, a convenience store, a select service hotel. Very excited about those opportunities for the airport.
And that's neat to have that gas station right next to the rental car place, because people can come in, fill up, turn the car in, and not get charged extra or anything like that.
It is, and much
They
needed.
Needed that here for a long,
Yeah, very,
long
very,
time.
very needed.
You're going to have a lot more gray hair before this is over with. Now, you guys
We're
have been great
managing
about
through it,
reaching
Mayor.
out to minority contractors
Yes.
and women-owned businesses. The diversity on this job is pretty, you know, both union folks, non-union, trades, minority contractors. Tell us those numbers, because I think people need to hear how significant those are.
Yeah, we originally had a goal for women and minority contracting of about 122 million. We're now on pace to exceed that and be beyond 160 million that we will pay out to women minority-owned contractors, and we're very, very, very pleased with that.
Yeah, that's almost unheard of, Jack.
Oh, that is. I mean, this place has everything right.
Yeah.
And
we've been working locally with the Associated Builders and Contractors, and we were just at their event last week and announced to them that with the new phase of our master plan, the second phase is about 543 million, and we'll need a lot of their help again and a lot of the local markets. So we'll be out there with outreach and doing that again.
Are you finding that labor is readily available, or are your contractors and subs struggling to find skilled labor?
It's a good question, Mayor. We have seen it tightening up over time. So when we first started, we were doing pretty good, and then as we got towards our peak, they were having trouble finding enough contractors and had to start to pull in from areas further away.
Sure, and probably cost more. Yeah.
And now with the Mr. Vinnick's project coming up in downtown Tampa, there'll be more of a strain on the labor.
Oh yeah, and you know what's happening here with Jeff Vinnick's Vinnick Bill, as we call it down there, and all of those things like that. I mean, this growth is incredible.
Yeah. So there'll be, we hope, ample amount of work for the local contractors, and then hopefully pull in more from areas. And folks have left the area years and years ago to pursue work in Texas and other places. We're pulling those folks back, which is great for our area.
All right. Well, you're talking to the guy. This is the one who makes the trains run on time out here. Al Illustrato has been doing a great job. How long have you been here? Did you come with Joe?
Little over 28 years.
You've been here 28 years. I don't know why.
Had a great career.
I don't know why I thought you came with Joe. Anyway, this is the guy. Stay with us. Jack and I are going to close this out. Thanks, Al.
Thank you, Mayor.
And we'll stay with us for the final chapter.
Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? Is the seat supposed to be forward-facing or rear-facing? Did they move to a booster seat too soon? It may be too late to check when you're on the road. Fortunately, you're on the couch. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Don't think you know. Know you know.
So we were walking to school.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really want
smart.
cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't have
I really
another
hope we
bad
don't
day
have
at
another
school
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Connor is struggling in school.
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
All right, Jack. Hopefully now people will have a better idea as to what this is going to look like and why this is going on and what the future looks like for TIA. It's really exciting. I mean, I'm lucky because I sit on the board, and most people get this information from the newspapers, but now they got a behind-the-scenes look at just what is about to occur here.
Yeah, people drive by here all the time and look at it and have no real clue as to what's going on. I mean, I think there's been a lot of publicity about the economy lot out here, but there's going to be so much more. And I am tickled to death they got a gas station. Those poor tourists coming from Pinellas County, and they can gas up right before they turn their rental car in.
Well, this is the next chapter of TIA, and we couldn't be prouder of it, couldn't be happier, excited about the completion. Although the construction is going to be going on for a long time, so people need to be patient. But phase 1 is hopefully about this time next year, this place will be up and running.
Well, having been here when they opened the place back in 1971, it's pretty exciting to see the direction it's taken. I know at one time, we never talked about it, but one time they were talking about expanding to the north, building another building up there, but I think that's given way to what we have down here now.
I think eventually down the road there is potential if we can keep increasing the number of flights that we get for an additional terminal, but I think right now we got enough on our plate between this and then what will occur over there with the retail and office development side of it.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing, that it's not going to be just for people who fly anymore. It's going to be for people who work here, come here to eat. It'll be a destination for shopping and eating and things like that.
Well, I mean, I know for travelers, and I'm one of them, who proximity to the airport, and if you can stay on property in your hotel, that is so much easier and so much more convenient. But, you know, like everything else in Tampa, I mean, it's busting loose.
Oh yeah, given what's happening here and in what we call Vinnickville now, I mean, it's amazing how the growth in this Tampa Bay area is going to be, and TIA accommodating it because of what's happening in Vinnickville and all the other places, and ultimately in the Heights, and then ultimately, and I know you can't talk about it, when the Rays come over.
You're right, I can't talk about it.
I still got my place picked out for the Rays.
I think you've got your seat picked out.
North of Amalie Arena, but they've got some creative ideas of what they're going to do to that stadium and everything. I hope the legislature doesn't mess us up by cutting back on giving
that's
to
asking
facilities.
Way too much. The legislature has pretty much messed everything up this year.
Oh, now, no, that's crazy that they're going to stop helping to fund. These are big corporations, they can do it themselves. Yeah, but they can go other places where they'll be helped. Yeah, if they don't change on that, and hopefully they can get that changed at some point.
All right, we're done. Come out and fly TIA. Stay tuned, some great things.
TPA.
TPA, well, yeah, TPA I guess is the technical term.
Yes.
A lot of great things happening here at your airport. This is our beloved Tampa International Airport. Got good people working on it. It's going to be a different place, but it's still going to maintain that amazing feel that makes it the most popular airport in to quote Donald Trump, it is bigly. The most popular airport in the entire galaxy.
Huge.
All right, we'll be back next month. Stay with us for another episode of the Mayor's Hour.